Good day. The outlaws have taken over our town. A wonderful town at one time, now run by felons, people going into your yards, breaking into your cars, attacking each other, attacking old ladies on the street. And this is the fault of the Reading City Council, for they did not properly budget for the needs of the community. Now, communists like Christian Schrader, Julie Winters, Brent Winter, and Francine Sullivan want you to approve a 0.5% sales tax for general use. That means that they only need 50% plus one to get the tax approved, and they get to spend it as they see fit. They'll tell you it's for the cops and the fire department and all that. That's their modus operandi. Now, as we saw with Measure D, when they thought they were going to win the election, they started divvying up the money, and out of the $10 million in possible sales tax, only $2 million was going for the sheriff and the police department. So what I'm proposing as a candidate for the Reading City Council is that we put a ballot measure on as soon as we'll actually have a special election, have a ballot measure to raise the motel tax by 6%. Now currently it's 10%, and we think that's pretty high, but the needs of the community are there, and we don't want to punish ourselves at the same time. So a 16% motel tax, which is the same as LA and Florida, is what we'd be seeking. And this would be a dedicated motel tax going exclusively for hiring new police officers and community service officers. That is to say, it would be a 5-year tax to hire these people at the entry level. It won't go for pay raises. Now, after the 5 years, they either fund the positions or we choose to continue the motel tax. But for that 5-year period, we would be able to have those additional cops. And it's very important to note that the Reading Police Department is the 5th highest paid police department in the United States, including their benefits. So we need to start at the bottom level and get boots on the ground, and avoid getting administrators and executives in the police department. We don't want to give them pay raises, and that will not be in the measure. We're going to call it Measure M. Now, Measure M will be exclusively on vacation rentals, not houseboats, but any campsites in Reading, any visiting trailer parks, not mobile homes, and motel rooms and hotel rooms, that kind of thing. So that will be collected by the city per their licenses. What we need to do is put this on the ballot. It will generate around $3 million a year. And we need to take the money back from the Shasta Cascade Wonderland Association. We give them $1 million right now. Okay, we have no proof that their articles, their advertising in the San Francisco Chronicle produces any tourism. In fact, it's basically another one of those special interest groups that are feeding off the mother. Now, we have to do this fairly quickly, so that's why I'm saying we need a special election. The city council may or may not put it on the ballot, but it would take 15% of the registered voters to put it into a special election. I would propose first we go to the city council and ask them. And the best way to get this thing going is to not vote for Christian Schrader and Francine Sullivan, because they do not have your best interest at heart. So again, I'm proposing a 6% increase in the motel tax. It will be for 5 years. It will be a dedicated tax to fund community service officers and entry-level police officers. If it works, I'm sure the voters will continue it on after 5 years. And this is what we really need, is to get as many cops out there and start wrangling in the criminal element that's terrorizing our people. Now, I've also talked about Measure J. And Measure J would be a sales tax increase of 0.5% for 5 years to fund the expansion of the existing jail, the adult rehabilitation center, and in a work camp. Now, all those things, of course, have to be worked out in detail. We do not want to have two sales taxes on the ballot at the same time because both of them will fail. So we would prefer to have the county have their sales tax vote for a jail. And then the city, us, we would have our vote for a motel tax increase. That would be complementary, more cops on the street, more jail space. Now, it may be more advantageous to do the motel tax at the county level. The problem with that is Shasta Lake City would give very little revenue, and the county would not have much revenue in the game, and only Anderson would be a significant partner. So instead, let's get this thing going and stop worrying about politics. And remember, make sure you throw the incumbents out, because they don't care about you, and they're just looking out for themselves and the special interests that fund their campaigns. Thank you.